The AP's rationale is the word illegal refers to an action, not a person. KPBS News adopted the same policy back in 2010 for these reasons.
So KPBS decided that both terms, illegal immigrant and undocumented immigrant, had become politicized. And they were distracting from our stories, that people would hear one term or the other and immediately make assumptions about where we fell on the issues in the debate. So we decided to avoid both.
But some argue the change is about political rather than grammatical correctness. When our Fronteras desk blogged about the story, Alan Wayne Necessary posted this: "Illegal immigrant is exactly what they are. They broke the law to get here and they are immigrants. Quit trying to be politically correct. What's next? Can't call someone a serial killer? Should we call them an aggressive person bent on life-taking?" Joining me now to talk more on the issue is immigration attorney Lilia Velasquez and Grant Barrett, co-host of Public Radio's A Way with Words. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Lilia, let's start with you. You represent people who are here illegally. What do they have to say about this term, illegal immigrant?
I don't think, honestly, that they are even aware of this new shift in attitude and that the label has changed. But I can tell you this, how they refer to themselves. When people call me, I would ask them, well, how do you enter the country? And they would tell me, like everyone else. And then I would finish the thought for them, and I go, without documents? And they would say, yes. So they refer to themselves as having no papers. I do not have papers. And I think that they don't label themselves illegal aliens. They never say, hi, this is Joe Garcia, and by the way, I'm an illegal alien. So I think that it's the perception they have about themselves, a person who has no status in the U.S. But I think that when the word gets out, they will see it as a more humanizing term. Just getting rid of illegal by itself is a big, big step.
In the reference to that term, Grant, the term illegal immigrant has a political history. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the recent debate really stems from a 2005 memo released by Republican strategist Frank Luntz. This is a man who uses words very carefully to get across his point. And in the memo, he describes the language that should be used to discuss immigration. And he uses the word illegal more than 140 times. And it's this paper that really has set the tone of the conversation about immigration in this country on the right and from the conservative point of view.
When it comes to connecting language to actual attitudes about the subject, how do those two connect, especially in this term? Is this a illegal immigrant? Is that really changing anybody's attitude?
Well, let's be clear. AP has changed what they've put in their style guide, and then the news organizations can choose to follow that or not. It's probably not likely to change the way regular folks use language, but it can have some impact because illegal automatically frames the debate in a way where we're discussing whether or not you should even listen to a person because they are de facto illegal. It is basically without judge, without jury, without due process. We've decided that they're illegal when there are a lot of nuances that lead to explaining how all these different people got here but aren't full citizens or aren't authorized with a visa.
Alrighty, and Lilia, several news organizations, including ours, have dropped the term, as we heard, saying it's inaccurate, it can be distracting to storytelling. Do you think the term is distracting for or inaccurate in news-telling stories?
I think that you can say that undocumented and unauthorized mean the same thing, a person that is here without authorization, without permission. However, I think that we have to look at the story behind the word. Because I think that when journalists and the news media, when they use a certain term, they're conveying a message. And if they tag the word illegal in it, then that is going to be perceived as, oh, well, they're illegal aliens, so I don't have to worry about this, or they deserve something that happens to them. So it is a politically charged term that is going to convey a certain story or give it a different slant.
Grant, this came up, this terminology change. It's been, as you said, and AP's been working on this for a while and said they'll actually even change it again possibly. But what sort of influence do you think it has on the immigration debate?
This is the early days. We have just started to scratch the surface on figuring out exactly how we're going to handle this. I know that immigration has been discussed in this country as far back as the 1800s. We've had wave after wave of it, but it sounds and it seems like on both sides of the debate in Washington, there's a new day. And I think that we're seeing a push toward a resolution. I don't know which way it's going to go, but it looks like there's activity there.
Lilia and Grant, thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure.
My pleasure.